When we think of World War II's turning points, we rarely mention Greece or Crete. Yet, in 1940 and 1941, these places witnessed acts of defiance that changed the war's course. As Europe fell to the Axis, Mussolini targeted Greece, expecting an easy victory to impress Hitler. But the Greeks, outnumbered and outgunned, refused to surrender. Their resistance wasn't just about armies, it was about ordinary people, farmers and merchants, channeling the spirit of their ancestors. The world expected Greece to yield. Instead, they stunned the Axis and inspired hope across the globe. This is not just a story of battles, but of a nation's will to resist tyranny. British, Australian, and New Zealander troops soon joined them, fighting for a land they'd never seen. Civilians too would face horrors, but never break. The saga of Greece and Crete is a testament to the human spirit's power to defy the odds. Their courage bought the Allies precious time that would prove world-altering. Let's remember their story. October 28, 1940. The Italian ambassador demands Greece surrender. Prime Minister Metaxas replies with a single word, "Oxy, no." That word electrified the nation. Greeks flooded the streets, celebrating defiance, not fearing invasion. Mussolini's army surged into the Pindus Mountains, expecting a quick victory. But the terrain and the Greek soldiers' resolve turned the tables. The Greeks, fighting for their homes, launched a fierce counterattack. Against all odds, they pushed the Italians back, deep into Albania. For the first time, an Axis army was decisively beaten. Headlines worldwide hailed the Greek victory, a beacon of hope in dark times. The cost was immense. Soldiers endured blizzards, villagers formed human supply chains, and even the elderly carried ammunition to the front. This was total national commitment. The Italian defeat forced Hitler to intervene, changing his plans for the war. Greece's stand proved the Axis could be stopped. Their courage would soon face an even greater test. Greece's victory over Italy embarrassed Mussolini and enraged Hitler. With British troops now in Greece, Hitler saw a threat to his southern flank and the vital Romanian oil fields. On April 6, 1941, the German blitzkrieg began, Operation Marita. Exhausted Greek and Commonwealth troops faced overwhelming force tanks, aircraft, and mechanized infantry. The Luftwaffe dominated the skies, bombing cities and columns of refugees. Despite brave resistance, the defenders were outmatched. Within 3 weeks, German forces broke through all defenses. Allied troops retreated desperately toward the coast, hoping for evacuation. Athens fell on April 27. The swastika rose over the Acropolis, a symbol of heartbreak and defeat. For many, the fight was not over. Their next stand would be on Crete. The Battle of Greece ended, but a new chapter of resistance was about to begin. The world watched as the struggle shifted to the island. The fate of the Allies now rested on Crete. As Greece fell, Allied forces scrambled to evacuate. The retreat was chaos, Luftwaffe attacks, clogged roads, and desperate soldiers. At Thermopylae, New Zealand and Australian troops made a legendary stand, echoing the Spartans of old. Their mission: delay the Germans, buy time for evacuation. For 2 days they held off elite panzer divisions, inflicting heavy losses. These rearguard actions saved over 50,000 Allied soldiers who escaped to Crete. Thousands more were left behind, killed or captured. The men who escaped carried the scars of defeat, but their resolve was unbroken. Their next battle would be for Crete, a fight for survival and honor. The stage was set for one of WWII's most dramatic confrontations. Crete became the Allies' last stronghold in the region. Hitler launched Operation Mercury, the first major airborne invasion in history. On May 20, 1941, thousands of German paratroopers descended from the sky. The defenders, British, Australian, New Zealander, and Greek troops, were exhausted but ready. Thanks to ultra-intelligence, they knew the Germans' targets, the airfields at Malem, Rethymno, and Heraklion. The initial landings were disastrous for the Germans. Paratroopers were cut down before they could regroup. At Malem, New Zealanders poured fire onto the attackers, inflicting horrific casualties. By nightfall, the Germans had failed to capture any key objectives. But the defenders were stretched thin, low on ammunition, and exhausted. A critical withdrawal from Hill 107 at Malem allowed the Germans to land reinforcements. This small retreat tipped the balance. The battle for Crete hung by a thread. The fate of the island and the war would be decided in the coming days. The Battle of Crete was unique. Civilians fought alongside soldiers from the first moment. Farmers, priests, women, and even children armed themselves with whatever they could find. The German paratroopers, trained for battle, were unprepared for an entire population in revolt. Cretans ambushed invaders in olive groves and villages, inflicting heavy casualties. The Germans retaliated with brutal reprisals, burning villages, executing civilians. But this only hardened the islanders' resolve. Cretans sheltered Allied soldiers, guided them through mountains, and risked everything for freedom. The bond between locals and allies became legendary. Crete's spirit of resistance would echo for years to come. With Malem airfield lost, the Germans poured in reinforcements and Crete fell. The Allied retreat across the White Mountains was a nightmare, harried by Luftwaffe attacks and German patrols. The cost for Germany was staggering, over 6,000 elite paratroopers lost. Hitler banned future large-scale airborne operations, forever changing the war's strategy. The diversion to Greece and Crete delayed Operation Barbarossa by crucial weeks. When the Germans reached Moscow, winter struck, a disaster for the Axis. Greece and Crete's resistance had global consequences. These battles proved the Axis could be beaten, and that courage could change history. The sacrifices of Greeks, Britons, Australians, and New Zealanders shaped the war's outcome. Their defiance remains a powerful lesson. Even in darkness, resistance matters. What do you think is the most important lesson from this saga? Let us know below.